Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Daytona in the PTO 2020 Championship. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Captiva Spine, John Hall Chevrolet, USA Triathlon, Foundation Risk Partners, and the PTO, the Pro Triathletes Organization. Number 7 in the rankings for PTO, Rudy Von Berg from the U.S. Rudy, how you doing, brother?
Very good, Bob. Just happy to be here in such a high level of competition.
Yes.
First one of the year and the biggest race of the year, so pretty stoked for that.
So you're a guy who got into the sport. Your dad has been racing forever and ever and ever and ever. You were, 5 years old and going to Kona with your dad?
Yeah, 5 years old, first time to Kona from France, so that was quite the trip. And then we'd go every 4 years about, so I went when I was 5, 9, 13.
Why every 4 years? Just too expensive to go every year.
It was a big preparation for him.
Oh, and he would do for each age division.
I think essentially, it would help a little, but also it was just a lot of preparation, kind of a bit of pressure on the family, just nutrition, training every day, obviously for a long time.
So when you're watching him do all this stuff, were you thinking, other guys' dads aren't doing this? Is this guy crazy? What's going on? Or did you feel like you wanted to be part of that?
Definitely. I thought it was really cool. For me, it wasn't special. It was normal almost because my dad has done that my whole life.
Yeah.
And when I was young, I remember he would go run in the forest and we would, with my sister, follow on the mountain bike.
Yeah.
And he would put us in all the sports clubs and, so it's just been my whole life and obviously pretty inspired by watching the racing, especially in Kona.
Were there times when you got to be a teenager where you thought, I want to try team sports, I want to do other stuff? Or was it always triathlon?
He didn't really just put us in just swimming, biking, and running. So it was I did also soccer for many years, tennis, skiing, basketball at school. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't just, I want my kids to do triathlon and that's it.
Yes.
He kind of let us do whatever we wanted, even music, but I was never into that or just didn't have any talent. And it ended up being triathlon for me, but it could have been another sport, really. He never really pressured us to just do triathlon.
And when did you get the sense that you were pretty good at this sport? Was there one race that said, okay, I think I should pursue this even more?
I wasn't the best when I was younger. I think physically I just needed more time to develop my body. It came later when I was when I really started focusing on triathlon when I was 17, 18, 19. And then when I started college at CU Boulder, when I was 19, my body kind of started. I started going much more to the gym, and I got more power, just more mass in myself, and just got faster. And I mean, after a lot of years of consistent training, that's how just eventually I started getting better and better results.
Did you look at ITU racing? Obviously, growing up in the sport, and thinking, I could represent France in the Olympics. Or were you, because you had seen Dad at Ironman, that was, you wanted that? Yeah,
essentially, for me, it's always been Ironman, Kona. That's the shining star for me.
Right.
I did ITU for a few years when I was younger, but I was a little weaker on the swim, so even though I worked on it very hard, and now it's improved quite a bit, it was just always Kona and long distance for me, and I loved the bike, and I was pretty frustrated in races when there were athletes that I thought that were way inferior to me that were beating me.
Yes.
So that was pretty frustrating, and then so eventually when I was in 2015, I did my first half, and then I pretty much transitioned completely to the half distance.
So to me, a breakthrough race was Wildflower, right? Watching you knock off Jesse Thomas, who had won that thing a million times, and you knocked him off in 2000. That was in 18. Yeah, 2018. And you also won the Euro Champs in front of your family that year.
Yeah.
So that was would you look at that as your breakthrough year?
Yeah, both years, 2018 and 2019, were breakthrough years. In 2018, I won 4 races. In 2019. 3 plus a podium at 70.3 Worlds.
70.3 Worlds, getting third, yeah.
So 2018 was definitely the first breakthrough year. Yeah. And 2019 was the confirmation of and it was even better. It was a step higher. Those were the 2 years. Unfortunately, 2020 didn't go as planned, but it's in 3 days.
I was going to say, it's still not over. You got a little race this weekend. So you've been out on the track, and what'd you think?
Yeah, it was pretty windy actually, so it's not protected at all out there.
No.
And I mean, it's gonna be tough on the legs for sure. 4K, just dead flat, but some change of pace, I guess, with the wind, which I actually don't mind.
Right.
Better a bit of wind and change of pace. It's closer to, I guess, more mountainous courses.
Yes.
But yeah, I was out there. I rode over 2 hours, and yeah, it was good. I mean, just seeing all the athletes out there doing a few race efforts, and yeah.
So you're going to see some athletes that you've never raced before, right? A number of these ITU guys.
Vincent
Do you like
Louis.
the idea of the mix of the ITU, the 70.3, the full Ironman guys, all basically under one roof? See who's the best?
It's definitely going to make the race much more exciting. That's why the PTO invited all those top ITU athletes. For long course athletes, sometimes we hear some ITU athletes talk shit about the long course guys. So I definitely want to prove to those guys that we belong, that we're some of the top athletes out there.
Yes.
So I really hope to be as many ITU athletes as I can, and obviously long course athletes, but that's just normal, like every day. So
last year we were in Nice, and that's your backyard, and you spent a lot of time there training on that course, and just being able to race a hometown race like that was the world championship. How special was that for you?
That was very special, especially just all the people that I knew around the course.
Yeah.
And just doing a dream bike course for me. My whole life growing up in France, I was like, oh, if ever we can have a huge race, a world championship there in southern France on these roads that are so much fun and that I know so well, and where I could just perform really well. And pretty much that's what happened. I mean, podium at Worlds, it was really special. With my dad competing, my brother competing, and my sister competing. So all four of us qualified. So it was also a family affair.
That's so fun. And, it's Alistair Brownlee, it's Gustav Iden. I mean, it was, if you're going to be on the podium, that's not a bad group to be on a podium with.
No, yeah, it was pretty epic catching. I think everyone saw the passing on the descent of Alistair.
Yes.
Too bad I couldn't drop them after that, but they just followed my line and they ran faster. But yeah, I mean, this race is definitely going to be different than that. I acknowledge that the downhill was an advantage for me, but I think people seem to forget that I was already second of the whole race before the downhill even started last year. Sure. So it's not like,
you always have to take advantage of your advantage.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, it's your home turf. You knew the course, but at the same time, you still got to ride it.
Yeah. No, so I'm well aware this is a different course and that I won't gain the minutes I gain on the downhill. However, as I said, I was already at the front of the race before the downhill. Right. So I'm definitely motivated and to do just really well here. So.
$1.15 million. Probably one of the greatest fields ever assembled. And you seem to do well when the bright lights are on. Wildflower, when you knocked off Jesse, it was all about Jesse winning his, seventh title, whatever it happened to be.
Yeah.
And nobody was thinking that you were going to knock him off. And then you being on the podium in Nice last year, you're still a young guy, 70.3 Worlds. There's some, a lot of other folks who people thought would be on the podium. You surprised people there. This is another opportunity, and I'm guessing you're looking to grab it.
Yeah, you used the right word, opportunity. That's what I posted on my Instagram pic a few days ago.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I mean, I still have a lot to prove. I have nothing to lose. This is the best field ever assembled. Many argue better than Kona.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an opportunity to shine, to just show what I can do, and yeah, and there's nothing to lose. I'm going to give it my all, and we'll see what happens.
What would it mean to you to win this race? $100K prize purse.
Well, above the money, which is obviously great, for me it would mean that I just really belong to in the group of the top triathletes in the world.
Yes, and that's what you want.
Right, and then that's my goal, obviously, for my whole career. And so, I mean, but that would just be amazing. I don't expect to win. I expect to do well, and I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yes.
The win will be very hard, but if I have a great race, why not a top 5? So
why not? And also, you got the Collins Cup thing going on, which for Samarin, and it's the Americans against the Europeans against the internationals, and I think you're ranked second. You're second American in the Collins Cup right now, which means you'd be racing in Samarin.
Yeah, I mean, we were gearing up to do it this year. Obviously, everything got canceled, but hopefully by the beginning of next year, everything will be back to normal. At least by end of May when the Collins Cup is scheduled.
Yeah.
So I mean, that will be an awesome event. Just also for the media, having all those races at the same time.
Yes.
So I think that will be a marquee event for the PTO. And
Love it.
Yeah.
Rudy, thanks for taking time. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
get
you,
to chat
Bob.
with you. I love your confidence, and it'll be great to see you on the podium.
Yeah, well, let's hope.
Rudy Von Berg has been our guest. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob, Challenge Daytona in the PTO 2020 Championship. Hold on, everybody. We'll be right back.